Coming to you live from the pools of Flaima, this is Optimal Play. I'm Brandon, and I am here to play my first game on camera of Skytear Horde Campaigns, the new kind of wave of content for Skytear Horde that I have found pretty difficult, but more on that in a second. I'm also really excited because I'm going to the Magic Castle tonight in Hollywood. If you've lived in LA or visited LA, maybe you've been to. It's this literal castle where you go and eat dinner, and then there are lots of roaming magicians and magic shows you can see, and a piano bar where the piano is played by a ghost. It's super cool. Katie, who has been on a few Optimal Play videos, she's celebrating her birthday there tonight, so that's the inn. You actually need an invite to go. I'm not sure what her connection is. But I am super stoked for that. So I'll be suiting up after I record this video, putting on a suit and tie and jacket for the first time for me. No, I've been to some weddings. I was gonna say the first time since COVID, but I've been to some weddings, but definitely the first time of the year for me. So that'll be annoying, but also fun. I've got a green shirt to match my hair picked out, so should be good. So on the next Skytear Horde video, I'll report back about the Magic Castle and the craziness that ensued there. And speaking of craziness, I think I still have big plans to do more videos of Skytear Horde because I enjoy this game a lot. And in the campaign box, they put out this completion table so you can track, have you beaten each of the 12 Horde decks with each of the 12 what do you even call them? Alliance decks? Alliance decks. Obviously, I don't think I'm going to do a 144 video series filling this all out, but I'm excited to start kind of like randomly choosing pairings and then trying to kind of beat as many of them as possible on camera and filling this in. But I hit a roadblock really early. Let's see, it would be right here, the Skybooters and the Leviathan Order, I think, would be the campaigns one. It's the recommended starting setup for the campaign box. Campaigns, it adds a campaign mode. I'm not playing that. Campaigns is also the name of the expansion if you're wondering why I keep saying campaigns. So I just beat this last night, but it took me so many tries, like at least half a dozen, that I just decided I didn't want to go anywhere else. I was going to make that my first video, the intro setup, and see whether I can beat it with you watching me. So I invite you, if you have a copy of Skytear Horde, set it up, play along. You obviously wouldn't be like drawing the same cards as me, but you know, see how you compare, because I've had a really hard time. So if I lose, I would love advice in the comments. And the reason to zoom in on what's going on in this game, by the way, speaking of comments, I should be a good YouTuber and suggest that you comment on the video and maybe even like it and subscribe to the channel, like if you're feeling really generous. It's the only way to support Optimal Play, so I and we all who participate in the videos here appreciate you helping us out in the algorithm. Okay, so the Skybooters are pirates. I think they're fine. Like I don't think that they are overly hard. You'll see they have a couple interesting cards in there. But their recommended outsider, Atlas, which is this giant moth causing a storm on these ships in its art. This is what's so difficult. And it's because it has 3 stages, and the first 2 stages add attack and health to the 3rd stage, and then they're easy to kill. So really they are just kind of buffing up the 3rd stage. And the 3rd stage then it comes into play with 3 health plus extra health on it. And the problem, or the challenge with that, is that it has the barrier keyword, which means that it can only take 1 damage at a time until it has a damage token on it. And that means it's buffed health, because that's plus health rather than damage tokens being added when you do that damage. You have to plink away at that bonus health 1 fight at a time, no matter how much damage you're doing to it. And that takes so many rounds that my castle gets pillaged out. One of the defeat conditions in this game is to have your deck run out of cards via the pillage mechanic. So that is what is so difficult. When I finally did it last night, I managed to set up a situation where I could just kill the minions turn after turn after turn, take my time, make sure that I don't get pillaged hardly at all, and then have lots of my deck left when Atlas showed up. So that's what I'm going to try to do here. We'll see how it goes as I draw my opening hand. Let's get into this. All right, so 5 cards and then I can mulligan. I've got a Boreal Druid, Wandering Phalanx. This is nice also because the pillage situation, it lets you rebuild periodically, adding cards back into your deck. A Border Tavern, Training Grounds, and a Sea Altar. So I'm going to keep the 2 allies. These 3 towers, I think the Border Tavern is better in the late game when you can return things to your hand and replay them, maybe prevent minions from pillaging. So, yeah, the Sea Altar, I think that the Sea Altar's healing is actually pretty universally good. And the Training Grounds, I really need to get some blessings going for that to be good. So I'm going to mulligan 2 of those 3 towers. Sometimes I make mistakes because I'm talking for the camera. I should not have shuffled these in yet. If I draw those same things, the Training Grounds and the other one, I'll just keep drawing. There is a Training Grounds, okay. How about a Devotee and Brilvar? Yeah, that sounds just fine. Brilvar is cool. It's one of my heroes. It can soak up the hits from 3 lanes, and it has 3 armor to help it do so. So that is actually really, that is like when I did win this scenario, that was really key to my victory. So let's give this a shot. Okay, that's my opening hand. I do, over here, I'll get this out of the way just so there's less clutter on the screen. I do have the turn order kind of just, you can see just on the edge here. I like to follow that because it's, if I'm following that diligently, I'm less likely to stop and question myself like, wait, did I remember the pillage phase? I find that if I'm not being really specific about following that, I start to just like second guess whether I've done the things that I'm supposed to have done each round. So the first round is going to start with gaining mana. We're going to look at the portal. This is not, I'm not going to do a full teach here, but I will try to narrate what I'm doing if this is your first time seeing Skytear Horde. The portal is going to tell us how much mana we get per turn. It is 4. And it's also going to tell us how many cards we summon from the Horde deck this turn, which is 2. So we've got Skull Waver. This is a spell, so it will not sit in that lane. It says play Reinforce 3. So let's go 1, 2, 3. It adds 3 health to the minions on the back row. And the strongest monster with a fight ability resolves it, or the castle takes 3 damage. I've actually asked the designer on the Skytear Horde Discord, or Skytear Games Discord, whether you can choose the fight ability thing if there's nothing to trigger, and I believe the intention was no. So it is going to be 1, 2, 3 damage to the castle. I'm not too worried about damage to the castle. That's actually a big part of my strategy, is focus on minions, even maybe letting the castle take some damage, because these things are not too threatening to the castle. Second draw is a Sea Witch. Well, that's a threat. Jeez. Okay, this is a monster. It's going to go in the leftmost lane. When it is played, it's going to steal 1 of my mana as an attack buff. And I will get it back as mana when this is destroyed. But that's brutal. So now we go to the Alliance phase. And we need to figure out, it'll do that again, steal my mana if I have any when it fights, so I definitely want to spend all my mana. Then the question will also be, am I trying to kill it this turn, or am I letting it hit the castle so that I can manage minions and get pillaged less? Frankly, with 3 mana, I don't really see any other play. The other thing I could do is put like Brilvar in this lane. It would soak up that attack from the Sea Witch, and it could also bring in a minion so that one less thing pillages. But I think for now, it's gonna just have to be bringing in this Boreal Druid. Spending 3, deploying it here. I'm realizing already, speaking of following the steps, I was supposed to rotate this portal clockwise. So next turn, it's not gonna summon any new cards, but it will reinforce minions twice. So I really have to get on managing those fast. Okay, so yeah, the Boreal Druid. I'm out of mana, so that's fine. That means it can't steal any from me, and I think I will go to the Treachery phase. That's where we're going to flip a card from the Horde deck, and it's going to potentially do something or buff the monster that's out there. Pinner says, on Treachery, the portal gains 2 temporary armor. That's fine. I am not attacking the portal this turn. And then we go to the fight phase. So on fight, the Sea Witch tries to steal another one of my mana. I don't have any. And Boreal Druid does nothing on fight, so they're just going to deal their damage to each other. It's 3, kills my Druid with 2 health, and it's 4 attack, kills the Sea Witch with 4. And when that's destroyed, I gain my mana back that I had stolen. Also, I've destroyed a monster, so I can draw a card. It's another Sea Altar, which is not exciting, but, you know, card draws are good. And then it's the pillage phase. My plan is already not going great, as I have to pillage 5 cards. Okay. It's the end phase. There's clear the temporary armor from the portal. Start another turn. Okay, so I'm gonna gain 4 mana. And summon cards from the Horde deck, that's 0. Reinforce minions. So I've played against the Skybooters enough to know that the only really like specific minion effects that they have is on the Onakai minion. So I'm gonna leave them at as low a health as possible and reinforce these 2. Now I definitely need to get some reinforcement going. Let's see how best to do it. Okay, so it's the, let's see, after we rotate this, it is the Alliance phase. I have 5 mana this time. This Devotee is excellent. I think I want to probably play that and this Wandering Phalanx. When it fights, it blesses an ally, so it could bless the Phalanx, helping it stay alive longer since it's small. And also, the Phalanx will let me rebuild one when I gain mana next turn. So that all seems pretty solid. So let me just spend my 5. I'll put the Devotee here. Phalanx, do I actually want it adjacent? Sure. There's, No, I'm gonna go here, because then I could play a Sea Altar here, which heals or readies neighbors. They don't really care whether they are neighbors from their own mechanics. Okay, speaking of going to the Magic Castle, I am caffeining up for it, and then I will be switching to alcohol once I'm there, I'm sure. So, I gotta remember to make some progress on this Rockstar. And, before I go to the Horde phase, I do want to bring in some of these minions. So, because the Wandering Phalanx only has 1 attack, I think we'll bring in the Onakai minions. And then the Devotee will bring in the Zephalites that have 2, something like that. They should both be able to survive this, and then I'll have sort of started clawing my way back on keeping up with the minions. Next turn we're not reinforcing any, we're just playing 1 card, so that's pretty manageable. Okay, Treachery card is Cloud Compass. It is just going to add 1 temporary attack to the Onakai minions. It's a good thing I can bless this. So right now the Devotee, when it fights, it can bless an ally. I also can use my castle to discard a card to bless an ally, and I think I want to do that too. I think maybe I'll have the Devotee bless itself to help it keep its own health high. So let me do that. I will exhaust my castle, discard a Sea Altar since I have 2 in hand, to bless an ally, which means give it 1 temporary attack or shield. I'm going to give it shield and armor, whatever you call that. And then we'll go down the line. Okay, so the Devotee's fight ability happens before they fight. It will bless an ally. It will choose itself for temporary armor. And then the 2/2 Zephyrite minions hit the 3/4 Devotee. It's going to break its armor and deal 1 damage. But the Devotee kills the minions, drawing me a card. Oh, it's a good card. It's a good card. We'll talk about that later. And the Wandering Phalanx. The Onakai minions do 2 damage to it. 1 hits its temporary armor, the other deals damage, and its 1 is enough back to defeat those minions. That will draw me a card. Okay. Okay, some interesting cards here. Alright, that's... seems like it went well enough, but I am pillaging 4 cards. So those are already going by fast. I will get to rebuild one from my Wandering Phalanx in a second here. And then we go to the end phase. We'll just remove these temporary tokens. Unfortunately, the damage is not temporary. Unexhaust my stuff. Go to the top of a new round, gaining 4 mana. That lets me rebuild. So one thing that as I played this a few times I really caught on to is these Maces of Devotion, these attachment weapons that let an ally strike immediately when you attach this weapon to it. key to getting in more of those hits on Atlas so that I don't spend so many extra rounds just plinking away at its barrier. So that's what I'm going to put on the bottom of the deck, so that I will be drawing it in the late game, ideally. That's the hope. I actually, like, when I finally won, it was because I did a good job of tracking what I had rebuilt to the bottom of the deck, so that when I decided to draw a card, like, I knew I was going to draw that mace, because I knew it was fourth from the bottom. So we'll see if I can talk for the camera and keep that in mind. That's a big if, but yeah, we'll find out together. Okay, so now we're just going to summon one card from the Horde deck, and it is another Skull Waver. This is the lower difficulty one, because this is level 2, so it's 2 kind of difficulty tiers shuffled together. It's only going to reinforce for 2, so that'll be 1 on the Zephalites and 1 on the Onakais. And the strongest minion with a fight ability resolves it, or the castle gains 3 damage. Yikes, that is a lot of castle damage. And we will rotate the portal. Okay, so one more turn of the portal being pretty not scary. Just one card and and 0 reinforce. So I would kind of like to blow up the portal next round. Right now I want to keep managing minions. And the difficult thing right now is managing mana. So I drew my Retributor. It is a rare card that says, after it strikes a monster, it mutiforms equal to its attack. And mutiform means gain 1 health or 1 attack, which means it could just double its attack over and over. That said, this scenario doesn't really ask me to have high attack allies, so instead it would probably just heal itself over and over, and I'll probably mostly be using it to manage minions. So that seems great. I just need to set myself up to have 6 mana, and I don't know how I will do that. I will try to leave some unspent now, but I think I want to get Brilvar in. Brilvar's just really good. So I'm going to spend 3 and put Brilvar between these two. That's my ally that has, my hero that has 3 armor. And monsters within 1 lane strike it instead of the engaged ally or the castle, which means these two can pull in minions. Those minions will just hit Brilvar. No permanent harm done because he has so much armor. So that's the plan here. I'm going to save that 1 mana, trying to eventually save up to have 6. And I will go ahead and use the Wandering Phalanx to engage the Onakai minions, again, because it has 1 attack, so I want to pick up one with less health on it. And the Devotee will go for another 2 health minion. So currently Brilvar is taking enough damage to pop its armor, and I could have him pull in a minion so there's 1 less pillage, but I think I won't. I would rather not risk him take damage. He only has 2 health. So I'll leave it there. I'll go to the Treachery phase. The Treachery is an extra temporary damage on the leftmost monster. Okay, so I guess it's pretty clear what to do then, which, as these two fight, I don't think I need to discard a card of my castle for a bless. As these two fight, the Devotee is going to be safe because its 3 damage is going to go to Brilvar, but on fight, it can bless an ally. The Phalanx doesn't need the bless because Brilvar is also taking it, so we're just going to give a temporary armor to Brilvar, and then it won't take any damage, I think. And then, so 3 damage pops Brilvar's 3 armor. Devotee's 3 is enough to kill the Radamel minions, sending them back to the back line and drawing me a card. And Brilvar has no attack, so would damage the portal if he had any. The Onakai minions are going to deal their damage to Brilvar, plinking off that Bless armor, and the Wandering Phalanx will do 1, defeating them, drawing me a card. Oh, it's another Wandering Phalanx. Getting 2 of those to start rebuilding 2 every time I gain mana seems pretty good. Okay. My slow it's all a good part of my slow strategy, I think. Alright, Pillage phase. I'm getting pillaged for 3. I still want to get that down lower, but definitely could be worse. And we'll go to the end phase. We'll remove that temporary armor and refresh Brilvar's armor. Unexhaust everything. go. I am not over 7 cards. We'll go to the top of a round. Gaining mana. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 mana total. And can I... do I have another one of those maces here? I do. I think I will just also rebuild that one. Okay. And 5 mana. There's nothing I can do, I don't think, to get enough to play the Retributor this turn. But I want to leave at least 2, so that if I gain 4, then we've got it. So I'm going to play another Wandering Phalanx. I'll just put it over here where it can keep on rebuilding me over and over is going to be kind of the idea. And I think that's it. I will just engage these minions. I forgot to draw. Never mind, let me back up. I forgot to draw a Horde card. That would be why this is so little to do here. All right, one Horde card is the Chaser. This, okay, that's a little scary. It's a monster that says on fight it deals 2 damage to the closest ally within 1 lane. So that would do 2 damage to the Devotee. And I don't think, since that's not a strike from its ability, I don't think that Brilvar soaks that up. Brilvar will soak up the 1 from its attack, which means the Devotee will survive the situation. Okay, that's fine. I don't think that changes my plan to play a Wandering Phalanx, probably over here. And, yeah, so the Devotee, it'll be too late to bless itself to protect itself from that damage, because the enemy fight ability happens first. So it's probably just going to throw... I think it will just plan to bless the Wandering Phalanx so that it can take out this 2 hit point minion. So it will engage that one. This Wandering Phalanx might as well engage this. If there's an emergency where like this one gets buffed and the Phalanx would die, I can bless it with my castle. So then the minions will be under control. Well, it seems good. The only thing is I'm not blowing up the portal here, like I said I wanted to, but I just haven't been able to get enough attack on the field. Even if I were to move the Devotee out of the way of the Chaser, like that's another way to handle this, is to just let it hit my castle for 1. That's not bad at all. I guess it would hit Brilvar with its ability and then hit the castle. No, and hit Brilvar. Yeah, okay, that's Brilvar taking too much damage. Alright, I'll just leave it here. I will figure out the portal later. Okay, so Treachery phase. We have the Burster is adding a temporary attack to the leftmost monster, the Chaser. Okay, so we're looking at Brilvar taking a damage here. Okay, well, so let's start resolving these. The Chaser is going to do 2 damage to the closest ally within 1 lane. That is going to be a 2nd and 3rd out of 4 damage on the Devotee. And the Devotee can bless an ally. And this is where I've got to think... Oh, I wanted the Phalanx to be able to take out the Yetnar minions. Okay, so I think I put that here. Brilvar is going to take 1, 2, 3. Brilvar's fine, doesn't need the blessing. This Phalanx is fine. So the only other question was, like, would I rather put the attack on Brilvar to actually get some damage on the portal? But I'd rather take out the minions. That's the whole strategy. That's the whole plan. So, okay. They fight each other. Chaser's dead. I'll keep drawing cards. I would love to find more allies. I'm getting... And this is, I think, part of my problem with this deck. I am just playing with the campaigns, the Leothan, the blue faction's pre-constructed deck. There's a lot of these little one cost towers with fairly niche effects, and I would rather have there just be more allies in the deck. But anyway, okay, oh, by the way, the 1 damage from that fight did go to Brilvar. Then over here, the Yetnar minions are going to do 2 to Brilvar. And the Wandering Phalanx that's buffed from the Bless can do 2 damage back, defeating them. I mean, I'm not at hand size, so I'll keep drawing cards. There's an ally, that's good. Going down over here, the Phalanx will take a damage as it defeats the Zephlite minions, and again, it will be my 7th card, so I might start declining some card draws, we will see. But for now, it's another ally. Okay, I feel better about my hand. Okay, as we go into pillage phase, there is nothing. I'm not pillaging anything. That is my plan going as I intended, so I do, as I forgot to rotate the portal, do it now. I do have to draw 2 Horde cards next round, but I'm really hoping that I can just smack the portal this turn. We'll see. At the end phase, we will refresh armor, remove temporary tokens, and go to the top of a round. Also, I saved a ton of mana there, so I'm going to gain 4 mana, and since I have 2 of these Wandering Phalanxes, I'm going to rebuild 2. So let's get some good punchy allies there, like a Devotee and a Boreal Druid. I'll throw those on the bottom of the deck. And summoning 2 cards from the Horde deck, we have a Purser. On fight, this will pillage 3 cards, go figure, but ultimately then it's not that big a threat. So that's not the worst thing. And a Pinner. On fight, this deals 2 damage to the engaged ally. Okay, that's a lot of damage Brilvar will be taking. We'll see. I'll think about how to handle this. Rotate these. So, the Retributor can come down. Yeah, funny enough, it can't, what was I gonna say? It doesn't have any minions to engage, which I found a really good way. I do, to help it keep mutaforming itself, it needs to strike a monster. So I probably want to like swap out the Devotee and put the Retributor in its place where it can take out the Purser. Maybe over the next 2 turns, which means it will pillage kind of a lot, but that's okay. So let's put the Devotee over here, exhausting it to move it, so that it can attack the portal. I think it's time. And then 6 for the Retributor right here. The Pinner just does 2 to the engaged ally. So between these, they're doing 1/2 to Brilvar. Their attack would each be 1 to Brilvar. I don't love that. Because then the Brilvar takes damage, or I have to bless it. I wonder. Let's see, what else can I do? Oh, I have a Matron. Matron can bless 2 a surrounded ally. That's always great. I think I'm gonna go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I should be able to blow up the portal here. So if I play this Matron for 1, I can exhaust it, pay a mana, to bless 2 an ally. So Brilvar's going to take 1 damage here. I can bless it to save it if it's going to take a second one from the Treachery. My castle can save that. So I think I actually want to give the attack to the Retributor for 2 reasons. The Retributor, then it has 5 attack and can take out the Purser in 1 hit. And also, it mutaforms equal to its attack, which means it'll mutaform even more, growing even more bulky, which is very cool. So that's gonna be that. I've spent all my mana for once. Yeah, let's go to it and see if this goes according to plan. The Treachery phase is a Purser. On Treachery, it pillages 2 cards. Okay, all right. And then the Purser on fight pillages 3 cards. Well, that's a lot of pillage happening. I'm glad the minions are completely taken down for now. And then the Retributor, so the Purser is going to deal its 1 damage to Brilvar. The Retributor is going to deal 5 to the Purser, defeating it, and I'm down 5 cards in hand, so I'll draw 1. Ooh, that's an interesting one, but it's not one I'm sure I like all that much. Then the Retributor is going to mutaform for 5, so it didn't even take damage. So I think that kind of the biggest that monsters from the Skybooter deck get is 5. So I'm going to mutaform it for 2 permanent attack, making it 5 attack, and the other 3 will be +3 health. So it's now a 5/7 that will continue doubling like that. Seems good. It does have the Defender keyword. It can't hit the portal, but it can manage minions like nobody's business. All right, the Pinner is going to deal 2 damage to the engaged ally. That's Brilvar. And deal 1 damage from its attack to Brilvar. So that's going to be an actual damage on Brilvar. So yeah, frustratingly, that means I'm not killing that this turn. That's okay, though. It does mean it'll be an extra minion sitting in play, which matters when Atlas comes into play. An extra monster. I keep saying minion for those. I'm playing too many other games where they are minions. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to do about that, really. I can't bless 2 with the castle. Okay, so now let's hit the portal. The Wandering Phalanx hits it for 1. The Devotee is going to bless itself for an attack and then hit the portal for 4. Matron has no attack. Wandering Phalanx hits it for 1 more. The portal is destroyed. And we will immediately bring in Portal Stage 2, which has 8 health and gives me 6 mana per turn. And we're going to add Atlas Stage 1 to the Outsider pile to spawn in the next Horde phase. That's going to be it, right? Yeah. Okay, so Pillage phase, nothing again. That's great, even though the Treachery phase pillaged me for 5, so that was where the Horde and Treachery phase did. So I'm going to just refresh armor, get rid of this bless, and go to the top of the round, gaining 6 mana and rebuilding 2 after I do. I saw some other pretty big allies go by. I'll go ahead and put these 2 rebuilt in my deck. Alright, the new portal's scary. 2 cards and 2 reinforcements. But all I can really do is go for it. Okay, Harpooners. Oh, this is a spell. Reinforce 3 and exhaust the leftmost ally. Okay, so that's just going to be, again, I will prioritize not reinforcing Onakai. And exhaust the leftmost ally. So my Retributor can't move this turn. That should be fine. Hopefully it gets a... Since it's exhausted, it wouldn't be able to engage minions, but hopefully a monster appears for it to smack. Second draw from the Horde deck. Speaking of a monster, is a Looter. On fight, it's a 2/5, so this is perfect for the Retributor to have 5 attack. On fight, it's going to steal a random card from my hand, and then I get them back when that's defeated. It loots. Seems reasonable. Okay, I'm glad there was a spell there, because that means Atlas is going to trigger 1 less when it enters play. Its stage 1 is a 1/1. On play, it's going to reinforce 2, so I've got a lot of minions to deal with. And then Atlas Stage 3, still waiting in the wings, no pun intended, for later, is going to get an attack buff for each monster in the front line, which right now is 3. So we're putting 3 attack on it. It's going to have 6 attack. The amount of health that it's going to have, still TBD. Okay, so what am I doing here on my turn? The minions need to be dealt with. This Devotee is getting low on health. I wonder... So, this Devotee, I wonder if I could get some armor on it. I have the Holy Fountain. It's a tower that can only be played in the rightmost available lane at the time that you play it. Kind of an annoying little restriction that, honestly, I don't know why it's there. Why you have to kind of bend your brain in knots for this, but, you know, it's here. If I were to use the Matron to bless the Devotee, the Holy Fountain then can go down next to the Devotee and kind of turn that temporary armor into permanent armor, which feels really good. Oh, it gains a health. Oh, wow. Okay, never mind. I had assumed... So the Tower Grounds is an equivalent tower, seeming it works the same way. But it takes temporary armor or temporary attack and makes it permanent. I thought that temporary armor would become permanent armor, but it just becomes health. It just heals. That's not nearly as interesting. Yeah, not at all. So... Then I wonder if... How much is Brilvar going to take? Brilvar is about to take 6. That's way too much. So he needs help anyway. This is a little tricky. Maybe I put the Devotee on monster duty. The Retributor can take this hit, so if I move Brilvar away, that's fine. Maybe I do that. I'm going to swap these two, exhausting both. Now Brilvar's soaking Atlas's hit and the Phalanx can kill it. The Devotee is going to need a blessing from the Matron. I can exhaust her, spend a mana to bless 2 a surrounded unit. She is surrounded. I'm going to give her 2 temporary armor. And then she can bless herself also and survive this attack from the Pinner. And if I keep keeping my allies alive, like I also have plenty of cards that I could just play in their place as they die, but I can just start declining to draw cards if I don't need to use them, which is nice because that's sort of like saving pillages. Okay, so over here, all that's left, frustratingly, as far as minion management... Oh, I should have rotated this portal again. Sorry. Oops, this way. I always forget that step. The only one that can pull a minion in is this Phalanx, and it would die trading with the minion unless I bless it using the castle. Maybe I will. I'll have it pull in the Onakais. Alright. Yeah, I wonder... Brilvar's still here, able to soak more hits. Let me... the Matrons are so good. And let's see, I have one in my discard pile I can see that got pillaged. Am I going to have access to any more of this game? No. Unless I rebuild them. I think this Matron is excellent, but I also could override it with a Druid to kill minions. And it can heal allies. In the future, it can start healing its adjacent allies and not bringing in minions and attacking the portal, which is also good. I think I do that. I hate to dismiss the Matron from play, but I think that's really good to get this Boreal Druid into play, bringing in the Zephlite minions, which then will do their damage to Brilvar, so the fact that it has 2 health is not a big problem. Okay. Okay, sorry, when I look over there, I'm looking at the screen, making sure. I'm always paranoid about, like, is the audio still working? Looks like it. Okay, alright, let's go to the Treachery phase. I think I've done everything. I left 2 mana, so that's nice. Treachery is going to be buffing the Onakai minions by 1 attack. I think that's fine. I was planning to lose the Phalanx here anyway. So, not bad at all. Okay, so the Looter is going to steal a random card from my hand very temporarily. Boop. Because then it's going to fight the Retributor and deal 2 damage, putting it down to 1 bonus health. But take 5 back. It's defeated. I'll get that card back. It was a Sea Altar. I'll draw a card for that. Ooh, it's a Mace. Okay, I'm going to try and save that for the final form of Atlas. That's a good draw. Okay, and the Retributor is going to Mutaform 5, which is going to be, let's just give him +4 health and +1 attack. In case I find myself in a situation where 6 attack is useful, I don't really know what that would be. Okay. The Pinner is going to deal 2 damage to its engaged ally. That's the Devotee. And then the Devotee is going to bless, and to stay alive, she needs to bless herself. And then the Pinner's 1 damage will pop that temporary armor, and her 3 will kill it. I will draw a card, because that will put me at 7. Oh, Border Tavern. That is a pretty good one. Okay, the Wandering Phalanx. Atlas is going to deal its 1 damage to Brilvar, and the Phalanx will do 1 damage to Stage 1 of Atlas, defeating it and putting Stage 2 in the Outsider queue. Brilvar itself has nothing to fight. The Zephlite minions will do 2 damage to Brilvar, and the Boreal Druid will defeat those minions. So I am not going to draw a card there because I'm at max. In other games, it would be... Like in Magic the Gathering, I would gladly draw more cards than choose which ones to discard to filter my hand, but because running out cards in my deck is the defeat condition I'm worried about this game, I'm going to decline. I still have some things to spend my mana on, at least for the short term. Okay, and the Onakai minions and the Wandering Phalanx are going to trade. Again, I'm going to decline that card draw. Always feels weird, but minions are pretty well managed. Now in the pillage phase, they're going to pillage me for 2. Okay. And the end phase. Let's get rid of temporary armor. Refresh. Jeez, I have so much damage out here. There is... oh, wait. Here it is. I was like, there's a spell that lets everything exhaust to heal itself for 1 turn. It just got pillaged, so maybe not playing that this turn. Or this game. Okay. Top of a round, I'm going to gain 6 mana, putting me at 8. And I have 1 Wandering Phalanx, so I'm going to... Let's... I know those Matrons are so good, but so are Novices, and so are these Wandering Phalanxes to just rebuild a little bit more if I need to, stay alive at the end. I'm going to go with Wandering Phalanx. Be what I put on the bottom. Okay, then we are going to summon 1 Horde card and reinforce 1. So, Harpooners. On play, reinforce 3 and exhaust 1 ally. Jeez, alright, minions are not going down easy. Oh, it's a spell though. Exhaust 1 ally, like of my choice? I guess it's probably Brilvar, because he can pretty much do his thing while exhausted, just soaking up hits. Okay. No. Oh, that's lucky to draw that spell there. Because in a moment, after I reinforce 1 from the portal and rotate it, I'm going to summon all the outsider cards. That's Atlas Stage 2. This is going to reinforce 2. Alright, minions are out of control. What's new? And but then it says... Atlas Stage 3 gains a health for each monster in the front line. This is where that, because of barrier, each of those health is like an entire extra time I have to hit it. Only gaining 1. That's not bad at all. Okay, so it would be nice to destroy this portal because it's going to summon 2 more cards, and when I destroy it, I can rebuild 4. Both of those are really good reasons to hit the portal for a lot here. These 2, the Druid for 4 and the Devotee for 4, unless something goes wrong, they can destroy the portal. I like everything about that. What does that leave for minion management is the question. Not a huge amount. So I think since I want the Druid to... that should be health, not damage on that minion. Since I want the Druid to attack the portal, I'm going to... exhaust it to use its ability to remove a damage from a neighbor ally. I'll heal Brilvar for 1. And whenever damage is removed from an ally, you can mutiform it. I'm going to give it +1 attack. That way, if the portal gets that treachery effect that's like some extra shield, I still have a route to destroy it. That's what I'm thinking there. Okay. The Devotee, I can't really even think of anything to exhaust her for. I don't want to engage a minion with her either, because she's the other part of my destroying the portal. So, the Wandering Phalanx is going to bring in some minions. They'll hit Brilvar. The Phalanx is only going to deal 1 damage to them unless I bless the Phalanx, which maybe I will. It'll depend on the treachery. And then let me play a minion, and I think it's just... I'm torn here. Oh, you know what I should probably do? Is use this to destroy the portal. No, it's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, so I'm going to spend 2 to play the Diving Watchman. This is a 2-cost 5/2, which is an insane value. But on fight, either he has to pillage 2 cards or take 2 damage, which means I need to either... And the 2 damage would destroy him. Also, when he's destroyed, he becomes a monster. So a 5/2 monster I have to deal with. I'm not sure this is a great card, but what I've realized is that I can always, as a free action, discard him from play. And that doesn't trigger destroy effects by my understanding of the rules. So what I want to do is like use him here to... Well, if he... See, this is why it would have been better to... Do I want to retcon? Fine. All right, I'm going to retcon using the Boreal Druid to heal Brill. No. It's fine. It's fine. This will be fine. Because if the Watchman just was the one who destroyed the portal, I could discard it later and not have to deal with its destroying effect. But honestly, I have enough minions. I can probably handle that. So I'll leave that alone. I will exhaust him to engage the Onakai minions. And he's gonna be destroyed and become a monster. But I will cross that bridge when I come to it. Yeah, the Devotee has no reason to exhaust unless I wanted to swap with the Retributor. I don't see a reason to do that. Because it's Defender, so it doesn't hit the portal. Yeah. Okay, so done with Alliance phase. Oh, wait. The Diving Watchman seems like a great use for Vial of Fate. Then I could choose whether to discard it or stick around next turn. Vial of Fate is an attachment. It costs me 1 mana. If the attached ally would be destroyed, set its health to 1 and discard Vial of Fate instead. So never mind. Instead of dying to the minions, it will just use up the Vial of Fate and stick around. Whether we like that or not, we can decide next time whether to discard it. Okay, let's do it. Treachery is... Cloud Compass is going to add 1 to the Onakai minions. That doesn't matter at all. Okay. So, Atlas deals 1 to the Retributor. The Retributor blows up Atlas Stage 2, putting Atlas Stage 3 in the queue. And Mutaforms for 6. So, there's no reason for it to have more than 6. So, I'm going to just give it 6 health here. So, you know, it's just a casual 6-14? 6-14. Alright. Devotee, so how much damage do I have going at the portal? I have 7 right now. So the Devotee is going to bless herself with her fight ability, and then deal 4 to the portal. Boom. The Wandering Phalanx and the Yetnar minions, I think I want to take out those minions. I'm going to discard this Holy Fountain that I think is kind of garbage, at least in this matchup. Discarding that and to use my castle to bless it, it's going to gain a temporary attack. And that way, it's the minions deal 2 to Brilvar, Phalanx deals 2 to them, defeating them. My deck is not too small. I will take the card draw. That's a pretty good card draw. Okay, Brilvar does nothing. Boreal Druid is going to do 5 damage to the portal. Oh, I forgot that... that doesn't really matter. I was going to say, I forgot that the Devotee did not actually need to do the damage because the Boreal Druid mutaformed. I could have saved that card and not used my castle. That's okay. You know, sometimes making gameplay mistakes is interesting and shouldn't always be retconned. That's what I say. Okay, so the Boreal Druid is doing 5 damage to the portal, which is enough to destroy it. So we'll pause there, resolve destroying the portal. When it's destroyed, a rebuild 4, and I may draw 1 card, and then we're going to put stage 3 into play, which is only going to draw 1 card next turn instead of this portal was going to draw 2, so that seems like an improvement. And I can rebuild 4. You love that. Oh boy. How many times have I rebuilt? When I was talking about remembering where in the stack that mace was, I didn't remember. That's fine. Okay, we're just going to try to put as many kind of useful things as possible down there, like a matron, some cheap minions maybe to plink away at Atlas. You know, the Book of Low Tide could come in handy in the late game. That lets you play the card on the top of your deck. Novice is a cheap little minion, and sure, let's just do, like, Raptured. Okay. Rebuilding 4 cards feels very, very good. Okay. And then we resolve this lane. The Diving Watchman, on fight, I need to pillage 2 cards or deal 2 damage to it. I'm going to pillage the 2. Interestingly, if I had blessed that with the Devotee, I could have had it take the 2 damage and then be killed by the Onakai minions, preventing the pillage. But you know what, that's fine. Again, mistakes happen. Sometimes you gotta stick with them. Okay, so then the minions are gonna deal 3 to it. It's gonna deal 5 to them. It defeats the Onakai minions. Let's sort those tokens back. I could draw a card. Sure, I'll draw a card. And then they are taking lethal damage, so the Vial of Fate is going to be discarded and 1 damage remaining. Or 1 damage on it, so that it has 1 hit point remaining. Okay, in the pillage phase I'm getting pillage for 4. Still some minions to deal with there, but I've got 8 cards left in my deck, which honestly feels comfortable as far as this game goes. Okay, refreshing armor, getting rid of temporary tokens. Oh, okay. I have 6 cards in hand, so I'm not discarding any. I'm at the Horde phase. I will start by gaining mana. It's 6 for this portal also, 10 is the cap, so I only gain 5, and then I can rebuild one, because I still have this Wandering Phalanx. These things generate so damn much rebuild. I think those cards are really stars in this matchup. Summoning 1 card from the Horde deck, it is a Chaser. It's a monster that deals 3 damage to the closest ally within 1 lane. Well, the Retributor can easily deal with that. Seems fine. We're also going to reinforce 1, so we'll throw that on the Yetnar minions. And Atlas is going to interplay. So, Atlas simply has the trample keyword, which means excess damage will spill over and hit my castle. But like I said earlier, the castle's not a threat here. The castle's at 14. I'm not worried about the castle's health. But it has barrier, which means until it has a damage on it, all damage I do to it is reduced to 1. So I'm going to need to like trade a couple things into it, which I should be able to do fairly reasonably, I think, here. Okay, so the that's the Horde phase, right? Yeah, we'll just rotate the portal. 2 cards next turn. But here's the thing. I have a Mace of Devotion, so I can get 1 immediate attack on it right now. And then I can put like the Phalanx or something in its way to hit it. So I could kill it next round. I also have to survive the pillages, so I need to make sure that I have like handling minions. So I have 10 mana to spend. Am I ready to just lose the Devotee? Or do I want to swap something in? And do I want to keep the Diving Watchman? These are the questions. Do I want to keep the Diving Watchman this round or just discard it from play right now? I think I have just better things that I can play in. Yeah. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to discard the Watchman from play. And... Ooh... Or that's what I... No, if I was like, or that's what I get an extra attack on Atlas, but it would die in the process and then become an enemy. I don't want to deal with that. Okay. So, I've thought through that much so far. I forgot to set the portal to its new 10 health. I don't think I am blowing up this next portal. And I think it's just not a priority. I do want to make sure I'm not pillaged for these 5, so that's got to be something that I take care of. So this Living Relic card has barrier, which means it could basically do... It could be the 2 hits that I need on Atlas. And that seems pretty good. So I guess I'm going to move the Devotee. The Devotee is so bad in the leftmost lane, though. Or in the rightmost lane. Because the Blessed Ally goes last, which is, like, not good. I could also just have it swing at Atlas right now and have the Living Relic... Okay, let's do that. I am going to spend 1 mana to play the Mace of Devotion on the Devotee. Fittingly enough, Devotion, Mace on the Devotee. That says, after the attached ally destroys a monster, heal it for 1. That's not going to matter. But then, when I play it, the attached ally and its engaged monster may strike each other. So, my understanding of the trample keyword is that the Atlas is going to trample over the Devotee as part of this strike each other. Do a bunch of damage to my castle. I still think I'm not too scared of that. So the Devotee has 1 health, so as the Atlas attacks it for 6, it's going to do 5 to my castle, putting me at 9 castle health. But the Devotee is going to hit Atlas for 1 because of its barrier, and that's one of the 3 hits I essentially need on it, and then it'll die. I think that was good. I think that was worth it. If I had more maces, I could just do that again right now and pretty much win the game. But I guess I can't do that. But what I can do is play Living Relic. This is a 1/4 barrier ally, that says after a destroyed ally within 2 lanes loses temporary tokens, this gains them. So if you put it later in the queue when things get blessed and then die, it like absorbs their blesses. It's pretty cool, but right now what I want it for is its barrier, which will, so all it needs to do is do 1 damage to Atlas. That's all Atlas would take. And its barrier should prevent a lot of, and 4 health should prevent a lot of trample. So that seems like a perfect matchup there. And that leaves these things and another ally if I play it, which I think I will, to manage minions. So let me spend 3 on the Truth Preacher. This is a 3/2 trample, and I can exhaust it for another ally to gain the same number of temporary attack and armor tokens as there are on the Preacher. You can do some pretty fun hijinks with that, but I think what it just needs to do is exhaust to engage minions. It's probably going to die in the process unless I end up blessing it to keep it alive, but I'm just going to use these to engage kind of the biggest, baddest minions and keep them from pillaging me. Yeah, I think that's good. Oh, that's good. I think without any surprises, I am not getting pillaged at all this round, which is kind of the dream. Okay, I'm going to go to the Treachery phase. This is the final card of the Horde deck. It is a Looter. It is just going to buff the Chaser by 1 attack. That's fine. So now, on fight, the Chaser deals 3 to the closest ally within 1 lane, so that's 3 to the Retributor. And then it's going to deal 2 damage to the Retributor, and the Retributor is going to do 6 back, very much defeating it. I guess I'll get greedy and draw a card. Is it a mace? It's not. I know that mace is somewhere. Those maces that I rebuilt are somewhere there. And then the Retributor gets to Mutiform 6. I guess I'll just have it take 6 health back. Alright, it's back to 615. Atlas and the Living Relic. Okay, so Atlas, I realized I'm not sure how Barrier and Trample keywords interact. I'm going to play it the same way that you would in Hearthstone. Because I've played a lot of Hearthstone over the last decade. So here's what I mean by that. Because this comes up with excess damage effects in Hearthstone meeting Divine Shield, which is probably the effect that honestly inspired Barrier. It's basically the first time something gets hit, it just pops their Divine Shield instead of taking damage normally. So what will happen, Atlas will do 6 to the Living Relic. Only 1 can land because of the Living Relic's barrier. But then as far as what tramples, we're going to still use its health. So that 6 will be reduced by 4, 2 will trample to the castle. I think that is a reasonable way to handle the interaction of those keywords. And that is the way it is in Hearthstone, so that's how I'm going to play it. Alright, the Yetnar minions, and then Atlas takes damage, importantly. Its barrier is turned off. Next turn, I just have to kill it, survive the trample damage it may do to the castle, and not get pillaged to death. Doable at this point. Look at this, actually, I might just bless the Truth Preacher to keep it alive. I don't actually see, or the Boreal Druid better than the Truth Preacher, sort of. Yeah, I'm gonna discard a card. I don't think I'm using my Training Grounds this game to bless the Boreal Druid with temporary armor. But okay, back to where I was. Yetnar minions dealing 1 damage to Brilvar. The Phalanx deals 1 to them, taking them out. I think I'll, this is Yetnar. I think I'll draw the card. That's not the mace. But it is a card I thought I bought him after the mace. Oh, maybe, did I already draw the mace that I rebuilt? Ooh, or maybe it got pillaged again. Oh, I see, okay. Yep, here they are. There's a streak of 2 maces in there. I've already reached them in the deck and they were pillaged. Annoying. That's fine. Okay, the Radamel minions are going to deal their 2 damage to Brilvar. The Boreal Druid. Okay, sorry. I will bless the Preacher. Boreal Druid wasn't going to die anyway because of Brilvar. The Boreal Druid deals 5 to the minions. They're destroyed. And again, because I'm not getting pillaged much, I don't want... It's definitely possible to get pillaged, I think, in the Horde phase. Maybe. I'll take the card draw, though. Okay. I think I will stop drawing cards. I have 6 cards left. No reason to tempt fate. Lastly, the Truth Preacher. Zephylite minions will do 2 to her, which is going to be 1 to the temporary armor, and 1 damage. She deals 3 back, defeating the minions, and 1 tramples over to the portal, for what that's worth. And pillage is nothing. We will just ready everything up, clear the bless, refresh the armor, check hand size. I am fine. There are still things that could go wrong, but this is looking good. So, in this hopefully final round, if I defeat Atlas, I still have to survive the whole round. So I need to not take a bunch of castle damage or get pillaged too much between now and the end of the round, and then I'm good. Speaking of not getting pillaged too much, I gain 6 mana, putting me at 8 mana, and I still have this Phalanx in play since the start of the game. I will put, I don't feel strongly about, okay, I'll just throw something down there. I don't think it matters what I put on the bottom of my deck at this point, but I'm rebuilding one. And then summoning 2 cards from the Horde deck, which is a shuffle. It's pretty rare, at least when level 2 when I'm playing kind of a double-size Horde deck of about 20 cards, it's pretty rare to go through it in my experience, but when you have to slow it down and manage the minions as much as you do against Atlas, it happens. Okay, here we go. Let's cut it. And the first Horde card is a Looter. Alright, this is the one that steals cards from my hand, attacks for 2. That's pretty okay. The next one is a Burster. This on fight deals 1 damage to each ally within a lane. I think I'm not too scared of that. And we're going to reinforce minions for 1, so that's something to probably just take care of. Okay, so I think now, since I do need to make sure to do 2 damage to Atlas, because it does have 2 health left, but its barrier is down, and I don't want to get trampled, I think I just swap these 2 by exhausting them both. Then Atlas can't trample over my 15 health Retributor, so that seems good. This Burster is dealing 1 to each ally within 1 lane. Mildly annoying. It would take out the Phalanx, so there's kind of no reason to leave the Phalanx there. But also, I don't really see how that can go wrong for me. Well, you know what? Yeah, maybe I'll just override. I'll discard the Phalanx. I have plenty of mana. I will play this Devotee. This way it can just soak up that damage. It won't die before the attack, and the castle won't get hit. Okay, that just leaves like the Boreal Druid can pull in these Radical minions so that they don't pillage. And I have 4 cards left in hand, 4 mana, but I just don't think I need it. I think we've done it. So let's go to the Treachery phase. Harpooners, on play, reinforce 3. Oh god. Well, that's going to be some surprise pillage, because there's nothing I'll be able to do about that. But luckily I have enough cards in my deck that should be fine. Oh, I should rotate the portal, as I always forget to do. Reinforce 3, exhaust 1 ally. Oh no, sorry, Treachery. Oh, it's not reinforcing 3. I was looking at the play text. Treachery. The boosted monster, which is the leftmost one, charges the weakest unengaged ally. So this Looter, I think weakest is its attack. So this Looter actually engages Brilvar. That seems alright. That doesn't seem to hurt anything. Okay. That was the Treachery. That's not bad at all. Then we'll just go down the line. The Living Relic, now unopposed, is going to do its 1 damage to the portal. The Retributor and Atlas strike each other. Retributor gets hit for 6. Atlas gets hit for 6. That will defeat Atlas. I win the game at the end of the round. It mutiforms for 6. Let's just, for fun, put 6 more attack on it. So now it's a 12-9. The Devotee, so the Burster is going to deal 1 damage to each ally within 1 lane. So for what it's worth, that is 1 on the Retributor, 1 on the Devotee, and 1 on Brilvar. Then the Devotee can bless an ally, bless itself. And then when they fight, 1, 2, 3, the Devotee just survives, and it deals its 3 damage to the Burster, defeating it. I won't bother with card draw. Brilvar has no attack. The Looter is going to steal a card from my hand, and then hit Brilvar for 2. That's all that happens there. The Radmill minions are going to hit Brovar for 1. That's okay. The Boreal Druid will take them out. I will not draw the card. And the Truth Preacher is going to hit the portal for another 3. Alright. Pillage Phase. Nothing. Nothing. That's a new record for me of 7 cards left in my deck as I win the Skybooters Atlas scenario. Okay, I mean, now that I've done it twice in a row now, after many failures, which means I think finally I found the right playstyle, the right approach, which was to be very cautious with my deck. Because I had 7 cards left. I think I rebuilt at least 7 cards with those phalanxes. So not only did I have to be as diligent as I tried to be with managing the minions, but I also needed those rebuilds to stay alive. The one thing that I guess you could say is me having 3 cards left in hand arguably means I could have skipped 3 more other card draws and left those cards in my deck. But that would be less options, so I don't know if I would have had all the tools I needed in the endgame that way. Wow, did it. Okay. On this table, I think I'm going to wait. I think on the next video I'll start doing this. I want to figure out exactly how I want to approach this and be consistent. There's a couple things. I would love to be playing level 3. This was level 2 of 5 difficulty. It's sure hard enough. But level 3 means you play with some, kind of my deck has 2 unique hero cards. The Hordes also have 2 unique, very tough boss kind of cards that give you usually some extra mana when they come into play. I would love to be playing with those because they're cool content. So I want to be good at this game, be playing on level 3 so that we can see those. And then either attempt to kind of start filling in this chart, playing level 3 each time, or the other thing that I could do, and I'd be interested to hear your thoughts in the comments, is the campaign rules. One of the changes is that it lets you fight against multiple hordes. So I could choose 2 hordes, shuffle them together. I've played a handful of games of Skytear Horde, but I'm not super familiar with very many of the hordes. My inclination would make me think that would make it a little bit easier, because if you're shuffling together 2 hordes, I would guess that some hordes are kind of designed to synergize with themselves. You might draw 2 cards in a row that create sort of a combo that does something greater than the sum of their parts. And by shuffling together 2 hordes, you reduce the chances of that happening because the things those hordes are trying to do don't necessarily synergize. So that could be the happy medium is level 3 but 2 hordes. I don't know. If you've played more Skytear Horde than me or experimented more with the difficulty level, I can finish a sentence. Let me know. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear in the comments. With that, I think that's a video. I need to go get my suit on for the Magic Castle. Looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to more Skytear Horde, especially after feeling like my win off camera last night was not a fluke. It was a gameplay strategy adjustment that resulted in me doing better, since it worked twice in a row. So that makes me feel really energized about this game. So that's great. All right, that's a video. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons below the video. That helps us out a lot. And I will definitely be getting more Skytear Horde on the channel, as well as other solo games, and most of the time my friends are here with me so that we can chat and banter and play games together. So please check out the channel, enjoy more of those, and until the next one, be optimal.